Trump is calling for a 25th Amendment change to make it possible to remove a vice president. Of course, in order to do that, you have to get it past Congress. You got to get 2/3 of the Senate. You got to get all sorts of shit to happen. But he wants to make it so you can remove a vice president. I wonder why. Was it because he wanted to hang the last vice president? Was that why? He's saying it's because he thinks that Kamala Harris is a liar. He's saying, "You're a liar. I never lied a day in my life. You're lying all the time and you saying that Joe Biden was okay, but he wasn't okay. He wasn't okay, folks. Okay. Okay. He wasn't okay. He was in bad shape. He was in bad shape. He was bad. And Kamala, she said he was okay. He wasn't okay. But as you know, when you're dealing with people who are old, they have good days and bad days to the point where you think they're okay, and then they show you that they're not okay, and you're like, "Hey, are you okay?" And they're like, "No, no, I'm okay." Old people are good at faking shit. They tell you they go, "Oh, I just forgot. I just getting a little foggy," just having a senior moment, and so you think they're okay. And then it turns out they're not okay. So to call her a liar about that, I mean, she's a politician. She's gonna depress us all. Don't worry about it. She's going to disappoint all of us because she's a politician, and she's gonna lie because she's a politician. But about that is the problem. And so he wants to put the 25th Amendment. He wants to change the 25th Amendment so that we can oust a vice president, which is fine, I guess, but it sounds a little bit despotic to me. Like the guy who wants to be a dictator is talking about how to. He's really thinking a lot about how to get rid of his second in command. Like, why are you thinking about that so hard, man? What? Why are you thinking so hard about getting rid of JD Vance already? Like, if I were JD Vance, I might go cry on my couch a little bit. If my boss was telling everybody that he's trying to figure out a new way to fire me, like I would go on the couch and probably cry because I'm a very weak man. Not like JD Vance, who's like a strong guy. He's a strong, tough man. Not like not like Trump, who's a very, very strong, tough man. He's a very strong man. In the wake of Biden's poor June debate performance and his decision to end his presidential campaign a month later, Trump and his Republican allies have accused Vice President Harris and top Democrats of covering up a decline in the president's mental fitness. They're covering up a decline in the mental fitness of the president. If all of Congress and the Senate have to work with the president, then they could have impeached him if they thought that Articles 25. So is about trying to get rid of the president if he's unfit, like he's gone crazy or something. They're saying it should be the same thing for vice president, which is very, very funny. The Harris campaign is, of course, declining to comment. Harris told CNN that not at all. She wasn't worried about him. He has the intelligence, the commitment, and the judgment and disposition that I think the American people rightly deserve in their president. I think that that's probably true. I'm not that. I don't think Joe Biden is sitting there like doddering old fool. I think he's an old man who stutters, and he probably is having problems with his memory. And good thing he has a giant group of people around him to help him through that. But it's a little weird that that you these we're gonna let's figure out a way to fire the vice president. What the fuck? So, I don't know. Um, when the despot is trying to figure out new ways to fire the people that keep him in check and are the people that are right behind him, it sounds a little Castro-y. When Fidel Castro is always coming up ways to kill people who are in his second command, or like Stalin is always trying to figure out. He was always trying to. The second in command is always. He's a really good second in command guy. He's got a lot of power, but he's also like this close to, like I'm sure Himmler probably felt that way. Second in command of the Third Reich probably felt like, well, if Hitler dies, I'm okay. But at any moment, I could be at the end of a rope with just someone's whim, just on a whim. So it's a little bit disconcerting to think that the current guy running for president is trying to come up with new ways to fire his vice president. What the heck? Uh, sorry, shady JD Vance. Your days are numbered. Your days are numbered, JD. Don't you worry. Like the your predecessor, the last guy he called vice president, was this close to being at the end of a rope. So you have the sword of Damocles over your head at all times when you work with a guy with like Trump. It might seem warm under the dragon's wing, but don't forget, you're under a dragon's wing. He's cold blooded. Oh, Bartleby. Oh, humanity.